What's happening? Adam Drake here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about my first major win. So, for me, I guess the first race that kind of got my name out there was winning the CRC Nitro class or Nitro Truck class for the January race. But I wouldn't really consider that a major race. It was a very unique race where tires and tire prep was pretty much what would make or break your weekend. So even though I was able to come out on top and beat a number of the top guys, like more factory level racers, I wouldn't really consider that my first major victory. The first one would be the 1999 Reedy Truck Race of Champions at Hot Rod Hobbies. So because of winning the CRC race, Losi decided to help pay my travel to the Silver State race. And then from there, they were happy with my performance and they offered to pay my way to the Reedy Truck Race of Champions. My primary focus for going to the 99 Reedy Truck Race was gas truck because Losi had Brian Kinwald, Matt Francis, Jimmy Jacobson, Travis Amescua. They had like a huge team that were more focused on electric. They were good drivers in both classes, but their focus was more electric. So they thought, hey, Adam's been doing really well in nitro. We'll have him come out. He can kind of focus on the gas truck side of things, and we have the rest of our team, and we'll see. Maybe Adam does good in electric also, because I was running a lot of electric at the time. That was my main focus up until probably 6 months before this race. And I remember going to this race, and Randy Poe, rest in peace, man, such an awesome guy, super big influence to myself, to Brian Kinwald over the years. But Randy Poe picked me up in the Losi van. We headed out to Saugus, California, and we started working on the gas truck. And we were running and changing and trying so many different things because I really hadn't run gas truck that often on outdoor tracks. I was pretty much accustomed to running it indoors at CRCRC, and I knew my focus was to be there and to do the best that I could in gas truck. So Randy and I were kind of throwing everything at it. We were trying everything, making a bunch of progress, and towards the end of the day, we felt really confident and we were good with where we were at with the truck. And Randy was like, hey, you should throw your electric truck down just to make sure everything's good, and we'll work on that some tomorrow. So I remember charging my electric truck. I went up to run. I think Randy was tired at the end of the day, so I don't believe he even came over and watched my first run. He had been helping me all day in gas truck, so I think he was cooling off, just sipping on some water, trying to cool down and unwind for the day. And I run my first pack, come back, and Randy's like, how was it? And I was like, man, it's awesome. It feels really good. And so Randy's like, well, charge it up and run it one more time because I want to watch you run and see how it is. Just because Randy was, he had a really good eye for watching your vehicle and, could kind of give some insight or give some advice on which direction to maybe go. So he's like, before we leave and go home, I want to watch it go around the track, and that way we can maybe think about it tonight. And if we need to make some changes for tomorrow's practice, we have a little bit more of a game plan. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, but I'm telling you, the truck feels really good. I think we're good, to go for tomorrow. So we go ahead and run it again, and Randy's able to watch this time, and he's like, man, you're right. The truck's really good. So the event goes on. I believe I qualified third in electric. I actually kind of struggled in nitro a little bit. I was super bummed because, again, I put this extra pressure on myself that I'm going to this race to kind of carry the flag a little bit for Losi on the nitro side of things. And it didn't go that great, but, I was really happy. Qualified third in electric truck, and I was right there in the mix. So it was AAA main format. And I'm trying to think, I don't remember the actual sequence of like my finishes in the mains, but I remember specifically the racing was kind of rough. You know, guys were kind of getting beat up. I remember in one of the finals, I believe, Jimmy Babcock and Kinwald got together. I got by both of them and won one of the finals. I think Billy Easton won one of the finals. And in the third final, I believe I got third. So it was all up in the air. It was all over. We didn't really know points-wise who won. And so they had said, you know, hey, we're not going to announce the winner with the tiebreaker and everything like that until after all the racing's done, because we want it to be, you know, more of a kind of exciting moment for everyone. So in my head, I was pretty confident that I had finished on the podium, but didn't really know overall. I thought Billy Easton had better scores than me. I thought he had a 1 and a 2, but actually he ended up, I think, with a 1 and a 3 also. And I remember I'm starting to pack my stuff up. I'm pulling the tires off my truck, and Gil Ossie Jr. comes over and he's like, you know, what are you doing? I said, I'm just cleaning up, you know, just so that we can get out of here. It's been a long weekend, and you know, I don't want you waiting on me, basically. And I remember him telling me, he was like, well, you're gonna need to put those tires back on. And I'm like, for what? He's like, they're gonna need it for the trophy presentation. And I'm like, okay, you know, just again, I'm kind of thinking, you know, I guess I must have ended up on the podium. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said, man, it's such a bummer. You know, they're not gonna let us know who won until the race is over, all the other classes and things like that. So, and he's like, well, you want to know who won? And I said, yeah, I would love to know. And he was like, it's you. And at first I'm thinking, you know, like, well, for one, how does he know? Two, like, you know, is he messing with me? And I'm like, get out of here. And he's like, no, I went up and looked, like you and Billy tied. I think it was Billy and I tied, or maybe it was even a 3-way tie with Billy, Brian, and myself. He's like, you won on the tiebreaker. And so that was the first major race where basically all the top guys were there. At the time, I was living in Michigan, so just a young kid from Michigan, and I believe only my second travel race that Losi had sent me to. I had been traveling for a number of years, but doing it on my own dime, doing all like the Florida Winter Champs and Roar Nationals and things like that. But this was kind of the first big one. I still have the trophy over there. It's a super tall, probably 5-foot tall trophy. I remember having to totally disassemble it to get it home. And you know, it was kind of cool because like back then, even like cell phones and things like that, at least for me, like, you know, I didn't have the cell phone, or if I did, it was like my minutes were super limited. And I remember talking to my buddy Bill Bridges after qualifying and telling him that I qualified third. And like Bill was so happy for me. I was all excited, and he was like, tomorrow when you win, you got to give me a call. And, you know, I just kind of laughed. You know, again, I'm a young kid. I'm up against Kinwald and all these guys. And I'm like, you know, I'll make it a point to give you a call if I win. So I had to borrow, I believe it was Junior's phone, and give Bill a call and let him know that I was able to win the race. And back then I was using Race Prep motors. It was the Losi double XT CR truck with a Phantom aluminum bulkhead. I still have the truck downstairs. It's hanging on the wall in the garage. And pretty special race, and pretty cool to look back on kind of the early days and how it all started for me. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment, like, share, and give me any suggestions to make these videos the best that they can be.